they go to that too.
Hello, everybody. I know I didn't do a countdown. I'm sorry.
We here? What? Jeez Louise, and here I am giving away sensitive business
You were done before
information.
it went live. Don't worry.
Wait, what were those bank numbers again? Quick! No
I'm
one's
gonna put my
listening.
pants on then, fine.
Well, I mean, the pants are below the camera. You're fine.
Are they?
I guess at your age. But yeah, welcome back to the Pyro Club Adventures. We're back. We found out that we won't be able to stream this adventure. When was it? Like end of the month?
The 27th.
Yeah, end of the month.
It's a couple weeks away.
Yeah, whatever. End of the month. But yeah, it is September, so half-price subscriptions. Yeah. Anyways, where did we leave off? Oh yeah, that would be, I guess,
That's a great freaking question.
Yeah.
Who would like to tell me that while I partake in some imbibements?
Oh, man.
Perfect.
That was a dramatic uncorking.
But,
With the glugging of the pour.
yeah. Look.
Tell me, my players,
Tell me more.
what has happened?
What do I have?
Well, last time at band camp.
Yeah, we went to Foxrun. We're on the way to Foxrun, I think, when we started last time. Got chased by a boat, which then got diverted, or so we think.
Two boats.
Ended up in Foxrun, where we checked on supplies with... What was his name? No. I had it. Eris's Essences. And did some snooping around, and then heard some things about Edwin, and then went to a very old location where we were at ages ago. I was about to say years ago, but it hasn't even been a year.
The campaign started in this
Level
week.
1 location.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Where we met up with a hooded figures, who apparently were working with Odin's Eye, and found out it was Edwin, who also had some sort of mechanical creation named Maro, with one eye.
Yeah, Maro.
You spell Maro with one eye?
What's
Yes.
the Maro with you?
On the Maro. Which I will move over to that map.
Maro is
Sure.
creepy.
Aw.
Wow.
Hey, that's rude. He's standing right there.
Why do I picture...
He's-
I picture Cthulhu, the eyeball just like
Yeah.
moving around like crazy.
At the Cat's Eye Inn, something else happened. Of some consequence, not of major consequence,
Oh, yes.
but I think it's important.
It is important because they didn't give me anything to play.
Minchinos and Rosie booked a tour date on the road.
What?
So you guys have room and board at the Cat's Eye Inn and are expected to be performing for a decent crowd at about 7 p.m. tonight.
So we got
Stage is being set up for you.
It's like we got places to be. Come on, hurry it up.
It's about noon now, so you got time.
Wait, it's like okay, just
Yeah, but there's sound check at like 3:30.
yeah, exactly. We got to be
Wardrobe.
prepared for this.
Oh my god. I have to get my Ace Frehley makeup on.
I gotta fluff up my feather in my cap.
Fluff up something.
Can we get a fluffer here for her, please? Thank you.
Make it 2.
Yes, or 3.
Navik purchased a new toy from the
Icky?
Sir Boba and Pals collection. Yeah, Icky.
Yay, Icky.
Which Ithis paid a portion of.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've deducted the 50 gold from your, at least on my spreadsheet, and the 3 tourmalines from Navik's.
Deducted 50 gold from my character sheet.
Cool. Let's see. Am I missing anything?
Rosie bought a chair.
Rosie bought a stool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It spins.
Funny, she actually saw one on one of the marketplaces she
Facebook
scouted. Yeah.
Marketplace.
She's like, look, it spins. I'm like, we'll go get it.
You're very
Because
close
of
to,
course she
to having
did.
stream today and me sitting on a bar stool spinning. So very
That's
close.
awesome.
Almost happened.
All right. Any other business anyone wants to address based on the last session before we drop into the introduction between Edwin and Maro?
I know Machino said he wanted to go back to the Alchemist.
At some point, but
Oh, okay.
we have to do this first.
You never know. After this, there might not be a Foxrun anymore.
I could see Machinos going, hold that thought, I'll be right back.
Walks an hour to town.
And we're all
As
just
soon as I get circle of teleportation, man. Which I don't get, actually.
muffin.
So yeah, the last scene of the last session was Minchino saying, "You're not from around here." Yeah.
are you?
No.
And Maro basically dispenses with the charade, throws off a cloak, and stands to his full 10 feet of height.
It's on par with Navik. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the eyeball is just sort of like just taking in the scene, just like twitching from person to person. There is a disc in the center of its chest that seems to adjust itself slightly. This is a terrible analogy for your characters, but for the players, it's like a hard drive disc sort of spinning and stopping, and then like a needle moves up and down.
Like a
I
vinyl
cast
record.
head strike.
Yeah. It starts ticking. No. So yeah, it's just taking in the scene. And Edwin kind of looks to Minchinos like, I've done terrible things.
Haven't we? Well, I haven't, but I mean,
Yes. Grizzled
haven't
Liar's Dice.
most people.
Infallible Minchinos.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Prove me wrong.
So Edwin's saying, so this is good. So Emma is safe then. You can vouch
Yes.
for that, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Does anybody have I guess not a.
What?
Never mind.
What do
Well,
you need? I pull out a bottle of wine from the bag of holding.
oh yes. Yeah, I've been in this forest for weeks, and you can tell that he's been in this forest for weeks. He's got like leaves stuck in his hair, and he's got a filthy cloak that seems to be in.
So much prestidigitation in it.
Not even that will help.
So as he comes forward through the group to sort of receive the wine, whose passive perception is above 15?
Not mine.
I believe
Not even close.
Oh, mine's
mine.
14. So close.
14? Okay.
14. Damn.
So Edwin is like talking with Minchinos, and do you have like glasses or anything like that, or you just hand him a bottle?
I'm handing him the bottle.
All right. He's
We're in
like,
the woods.
yeah. Well, he's also like trying to like bite the cork out.
Gotta have a corkscrew. There's no way Minchinos doesn't have a corkscrew.
I figured, yeah.
You got a tail. You're good.
A dagger will do as well in a pinch, but yeah, pop it open. Edwin kind of
I have 2 of those.
drinks. Yeah, you're running low.
You only have like 40 javelins left.
I have 2 of those only, too.
Oh, 2 left.
Oh no.
Yeah, he wasn't able to bring his
barrel.
yeah. He's like, oh, thank you. Well, so why are you here?
Prestidigitate the bottle of mouth. That's a really good question. Caleb will tell you this one.
Yeah, one of the cult fighters steps forward and he says, "That's I asked when we found out that, well, this is the Butcher of Odin. When we found that out, and he had rescued Emma, it was just sort of serendipitous. Our paths has crossed, and we had technically failed the mission because we don't actually have Emma, and I just thought he could, smooth things over. Edwin kind of looks like, okay. It's like, as long as she's safe, I feel a lot better. We can all just move on with our lives. Well, I can't, actually.
I was going to say, there's a town that really doesn't like you right now.
Oh. No, they don't.
They're a little upset, and can't say I blame them entirely. Although we do have to talk about where you got that cool mana bomb.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Well, we can talk later. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Is it a? Maybe we should talk. Can you want to come into the temple up there with me?
Because there's people around to listen in.
Yeah, just, this is not something that the Cult of the Eye need to be, privy to. Our business is done as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much. And he goes around shaking their hands. It's like, this has been excellent doing business with you. Off you go. And they're all just kind of standing around like, really? That's it? Edwin kind of stumbles up the steps past the giant construct.
I'll tell them, we'll wait here. We'll be back.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Butcher.
By the way, Rosie totally skips all the way in.
And I am just going to look at Maro carefully as I walk by.
Mm-hmm.
This is eyeing the thing with, carefully hid terror.
Is it carefully hid?
Yes.
Insight check.
Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Did Caleb give his actual name to the fighters? Because they kind of just approached you and said, "You're that guy, right?"
Well, I offered assistance
based on the
said that may the eye protect you type thing, and then they kind of assumed I was the Butcher of Odin.
They're sort of just hanging around you now.
Yeah, which is fine.
Like every time you take a couple of steps, they just kind of shuffle behind you.
Yeah, I tell them to just stand down here, keep an eye out for anything suspicious. We'll be back momentarily.
I lean over to Rosie. He's got his own chorus line.
I know, groupies. I'm sort of jealous.
You only notice I have groupies now?
Well, it's because now is when you have them.
I had them since ages ago. Anyways, onwards.
So as soon as Edwin gets out of sight of the construct, it starts lumbering over and just stands at the outside of the private room, or what is basically a room. The ceiling is half crumbled away, but Edwin puts the bottle on the table, kind of loosens his jacket a little bit.
Oh man, it's all the way in there. We going in?
What can I tell anything about Maro as I walk by?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Just try to figure out exactly what's going on with it. Is it still covered in anything, or is it just standing there, giant robot style?
Kind of giant robot style. The eye appears to be organic, though.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of twitching its focus from person to person. The pupil dilates and seems to be focusing almost as people come nearer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You guys sit around Edwin. He's just kind of got his eyes closed at the moment, and he's mouthing something. If you want, you can make. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am.
Anyone proficient in Arcana or Religion can roll.
No.
I'll take those rolls.
Neither.
That's fine. I burned my 2 good rolls for the night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Luckily for me, I'm proficient in both.
But you roll just as good as I do.
Yeah, Minchinos. So for Caleb and Ithis, all you can really identify is that this is a construct. Although it kind of throws you a little bit the eye, because it's almost like the blending of sort of like a construct, magical technology, and something living. Minchinos, you have heard of the blending of that kind of thing before. It is not something that can typically be magically created, or at least on the material plane, it is very unlikely to create something like that. So you're pretty sure that this is something extra planar. And moreover, based on the language, you've been hearing it sort of sputter, to no one in particular. And the language that was used to sort of alert Edwin to your presence, it sounds like something from the plane of law.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But otherwise, it just seems like a passive observer to this whole situation.
Okay. Sounds good.
Edwin's got his head on the table, and he keeps taking swigs of the wine bottle, and he goes, all right, I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
So,
I stole so much money.
That's fine.
okay. Yeah, okay.
What are you planning on doing
Curious
next?
about the thing.
Sorry, what am I doing?
The big guy over here.
Oh, he's just watching me to make sure I hold up my end of the bargain.
Lovely.
Okay. Keep going.
Oh,
Bargain.
right. Okay, so as you know, Emma got into some trouble because of that snake in Brimwick, and well, I was powerless. I couldn't do anything, and they wouldn't give me any information. They told me that she had been taken away, and so I reached out to some people, some not very nice people, to try and find some power in all of this. And that didn't really work. And then I found those eye boys, those Odin boys, and they seemed real keen on getting into the Temple of Tyr, and we started talking, and they were running out of food and weapons and things like that. Could use, some money, and well, I've been funding them with the people of Foxrun's tax dollars. It was going great for a while, and then the opportunity to do a big breakout came. We found out where she was. She was in that temple, and they needed something to, make an impact. And the only person that I knew who had something that could do something like that is you guys. Of course, I had no way of getting in contact with you, but the other person was my friend who lives over at 52 Crimson Court in Foxrun, Mr. Hadrian Sisko. And this is a name you guys have heard occasionally now. Obviously, you went, or some of you went through that very house when you were first in Foxrun. This is the place that had the troll in the basement and the mimic piano.
Oh, the piano that Rosie knows nothing about.
Caleb's favorite door.
Caleb's favorite door.
That's right. Oh, I forgot.
I wonder if he knows that we took his apparatus.
And sold it.
The other place you heard that name, aside from learning that this is sort of like a summer home of this person's, When the players went back in time to like play out that tableau with you were all wizards and you were in like potions class, your teacher at the time was Hadrian Cisco.
I think I remember that.
And
I've forgotten he was the teacher.
the last place was the person who introduced the PvP session. Was also Hadrian Cisco. So it's just and it's like one of these things where it's like it's sort of like almost like a passing thought. Like every time you hear that name, it's like I feel like I know that name, but it's really just been sort of floating in the periphery the whole time. In any case, Edwin says he's like, I was a friend of his. Obviously, he's a citizen in the town of some repute, and I went and sought him out, and he indeed had just the thing that I could use to, provide the Odin's Eye Boys to, make an impact. It was quite expensive, though, more expensive than I had anticipated, and so we struck a deal. And that's where Maro comes from.
Lovely.
Okay. So you made a deal with a warlock and got a giant eye robot as a partner.
So actually, the giant eye robot is actually just here to enforce the contract.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you still have to do for the contract?
I don't really know, but I've been told that it'll make itself clear to me. But
this is going to end well.
No, this is great. Check this out. And he kind of lifts his cloak, and a tiny little sort of reptilian head kind of peeks its way out from underneath the fur on his collar. And it looks like a miniature dragon.
Oh, wow.
Rosie's mind is blown.
It's like little leathery wings kind of peek out from underneath his collar.
What color is it?
It is sort of a brass color.
Rosie wants it. Rosie wants it. Rosie wants it. Rosie wants the dragon. Rosie wants the dragon.
It's like this is my. You're gonna get a kick out of this. This is my familiar.
It's so cute.
Yeah, this is Rodney. I couldn't think of a name, so I just went with the that fat little dragon from the Boba children's stories. Anyway, this is Rodney.
Hi, Rodney.
And Rodney sort of takes off from the shoulder and just sort of like bobs in the air a little bit. And it does look like it's been well fed.
So he's taking after the namesake.
Pretty much.
It seems so, yes. Yeah. He's like, I don't know what dragons really eat. I've just been feeding it cheese.
Oh, Lord.
He's so cute. Oh, my God. He's...
Rodney goes down and like flutters down to Rosie's level and just sort of like looks at your face a little bit, and it just sort of like bites ever so gently down on your nose and just hangs there.
Boop.
Yeah, and then just like lets go, realizes that your nose is not cheese, and like settles down on your shoulder for a moment and starts like cleaning.
Can I pet it? Can I pet Rodney?
Yeah. It just sort of pulls away from your hand, but if you're gentle, it kind of lets you.
So Rosie's very entertained now. She's gonna pet a little dragon.
Edwin's like, so this came with the deal. It's pretty great. I also learned a few things, and he pulls out a big tome and he opens up the book. He goes, I can do this sometimes. He's just like showing off the pages.
I'll say hello to Rodney in Draconic.
It so like cocks its head as though it recognizes the language but can't produce it itself.
Don't set her on fire.
Oh.
Kind of nods.
You have no idea what I said.
I'm saying on to the dragon. I don't know what you said. I'm like,
Now the other guy in the armor. Anyway. Sadly, just slowly shaking his head.
So Edwin is like, so I made a deal basically for the mana bomb, which came with all of this, and the tools with which to, facilitate my own goals. Really, I got a little bit of magical power now. Yeah.
Great.
Lovely.
It's been pretty good, and you start to realize now that the room in here is kind of scorched. There's like, you can tell that there's like been some plants that have been drug in here, and they are just like in a state of necrosis.
So he's practicing pretty much.
He seems so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Edwin goes, "Oh shoot! I just remembered something very, very important. None of you are still in contact with Dicisk, right?"
Why?
No, I don't think. Well, I mean, define contact.
Well,
Who
just
is
any
Isis
contact.
again?
She was like the lizard lady.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The lizard lady you guys traveled with.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, that's
Baby
fine. Good.
dragon.
Just if you happen to see her, just sort of leave all this out. She probably doesn't need to know.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
Dice,
that sounds great.
So,
fine. It's fine. Everything's
what are we doing?
What are you
Baby.
doing?
Baby dragons.
Oh yes.
So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about Foxrun? What are you going to do about everything else?
Well, I can never go back.
Probably not now.
Great. Yeah. Okay.
I think they'll probably try to hang me, and for good reason.
No, I think that's well within the bounds of reason.
So, I figure I would just run away. This is my plan so far.
Pretty much your only option.
Takes a
Run.
long drink of the bottle.
You ever been to Rhemodina?
Yes, actually. It's very hot.
Hmm.
Oh, is that where you're going?
Well, that's where the eye people are all going.
The eye people.
There's a lot of people there that need to have
Yeah,
their eyes
promise it.
checked.
That's our
Yeah.
There's a convention, you know.
The,
eye convention. He kind of looks over. He's like, "Sounds like something you'd like, eh, Maro?" Maro doesn't respond.
Tries to give it a high five. He's just like,
Kang.
I'm so glad I didn't give him an expensive bottle.
He's like, well, I you mind if I tag along with you?
Well, either with us or with the other group. Because isn't there another group that was going there?
Yeah, the eye people.
The eye people,
Well, I mean, there was some with us, but there was also another group going.
the ones with the wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carabiner, you called it, I think.
the
I
carabiners.
don't know.
Oh,
The
the
caravanserai was
Caravanserai,
the
yeah.
actual building.
yeah, that's the place that sort of provisions caravans.
Yeah, so it was a caravan group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think a little bit of a disguise just to get you through the town quickly.
That would be very good.
Do you know how to do that to yourself?
Let me check.
It's like,
Maybe.
Edwin. I forget which spells I gave him. Edwin.
Depending on his pact, too.
Nope.
Perhaps I have assumed too much.
Does seem that way.
But I
Dragon.
could maybe shave the beard. Can I avoid shaving the beard?
I don't think so. I think this is part of the price you have to pay.
you could keep some mutton chops.
Okay.
Well, so it's either you keep the beard and get hanged, or you shave the beard and you don't die. At the hands of the Foxrun people, anyway.
It's been a very long time since I've shaved, so either way, I'm risking my neck.
That's okay. I'll look after your baby dragon.
Oh, Rodney will cease to exist if I die. Let's go.
We must protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
At all costs.
I'm contemplating ways of actually burning the beard off without hurting him.
He's like, does anyone have a sharp blade that I could borrow? Maybe
I'll
some
look at
oil?
Navic.
Yeah, I got a couple.
I have a dagger.
No, that'd be perfect. Do you have any oil?
I probably have weapon oil to take care of the weapons.
That'll do. Again, it's been a very long time since I've shaved.
I feel like this is gonna go.
This can't be. Yeah, this is fine.
I generally don't
Wait,
carry
question.
oil or other flammable items like that.
Would prestidigitation work for
A
removing facial
beard,
hair?
it would clean them. It would clean it.
I
It
couldn't
wouldn't-
clean it from his face. Make
Yeah.
it clean shaven, even.
I don't
No.
think so.
Yeah, I think you can clean the dirt and gunk out of his beard, but that's about it.
If I was very careful with control flames.
That's a thing now. That is an actual form of hairdressing. You can burn it off. Flaming sword, even.
Get it lasered off.
Get lasered, yeah.
How fine can disintegrate go?
No. Smoothest shave ever. It'd
so
never
Ed-
go back. Never.
Edmund steps out for some privacy. Maro follows him and just stands in the doorway and stares at him.
That's fucking creepy.
Do I still have the dragon, or did the dragon leave?
The dragon is still currently on your shoulder. Its like head is sort of rested against your neck and seems to have fallen asleep.
Best day ever. I need to go find a stuffed dragon now to perch on my shoulder.
So, what are your plans?
Dragon.
I want to find out, like, I guess his plans is just to either come with us or go into hiding. I'd rather not take him, only because I don't think our ship can handle whatever Maro is.
Probably.
That's what I was
Although,
suggesting. Maybe he could travel with the other group to, provide protection.
Yeah, totally, because we'd assume Maro is a defender.
On a side note,
As a
think,
player, I'm pretty sure I know what Maro is, but
as a player, what's his name? The cat person that you picked up?
Oh,
Cat person?
hold on.
12 paws or something.
Gears.
Grinds his gears? I don't know.
Yeah,
Gears.
yeah, that guy. That guy would find this guy interesting.
It's probably true.
Oh, I can't wait to see him try and probe him.
Yeah.
Grinds the gears, yeah.
Oh my.
I could see something bad happening. As a player. Me, as Navic, not caring though.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I personally don't care. I'm assuming this is technically a quote-unquote dead end in Caleb's mind, anyways. There's no benefit here other than we got, or I got, more followers.
I definitely want to get back to the town anyway. I wanted to go to the Essences. We have our thing at the inn, and I'm madly curious about Hadrian.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we didn't actually meet him. He was not home at the time we invaded his privacy. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't think we've actually...
And left a
met
dead
him.
piano in his...
And a rug.
And a rug.
A troll.
And a troll.
Yeah,
Oh,
remember
yes.
fighting something back there.
Merry
Several
Christmas.
shadows.
An empty garage.
Couple of animated armors.
Broken to pieces.
You also gave his dog to the bartender of the Shepherd and Wayne.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Little Topaz, the old hound.
Okay.
I do
Yeah.
not remember that.
Welcome home.
Nothing's left. Not even your dog.
Edwin comes back after about 10 minutes. Just a mess. Just like face is greasy and bloody, and there's little patches of hair here and there. He looks startled.
Perfect.
He's holding this disgusting dagger.
You look totally different. Who are you?
Prestidigitation on the dagger.
Yeah.
There you go, Navik.
He
Yeah,
has
no,
it.
that was Rosie's.
That was
That was
mine.
Rosie's. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
The construct steps behind Edwin, and the disc in the center starts to spin, and you hear that sort of language again, just like as though to nobody but itself. It's just sort of rambling, sort of echoing within its body.
Okay.
Weird.
Well, we're gonna head back to Foxrun. Look for a caravan. They'll probably be heading northwest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
something
Out
like
of
that.
town.
Yeah, get around to the Northwest Road.
Yeah.
Well, these guys here, I think some of them were part of it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so he can just go with them.
You can use Maro to provide protection. That should be enough, right? Maro can
Oh,
fight.
he doesn't protect me.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
In
yeah.
fact, he's probably going to be my doom.
Oh, lovely.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, you have all these powers now, right?
Yes, I've been told that this is, and he kind of gestures back to Maro. This is what's called an inevitable, and it's basically just here until I screw up, in which case it will erase me.
Lovely. Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
as long as it
Well,
only
good
erases
travels. Have
you-
fun.
Yeah, that thing. Try not to injure any of the Odin's Eye group, please.
And I would try to sneak over the dragon. I'm like, yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah, the dragon doesn't seem to be waking up.
Just totally make off with the little dragon.
I know what spell somebody's learning when she levels next.
I'm getting a dragon. I'm getting a dragon.
Edwin goes up to Vinchinos and says, "I hate about this whole thing. Just out of curiosity, I think it's just a little thing. Do you happen to know anything about the Emerald Syndicate?"
I've heard of them.
Okay. So apparently I'm allowed to, work with them, but not if it pisses off or gets me into trouble with, like, another group called the Shadar Kai. Do you know them?
Do I know them?
Give me a religion check.
Ugh.
Gino's his hated stat.
Yeah, no, that's about as
Yep.
accurate as you're ever gonna get.
It's not a word you've heard before.
Yeah, no, I don't know them. But if they're against the Emerald Syndicate, they're probably not somebody you want to be messing around. Not that the Emerald Syndicate's somebody you want to be messing around with either, but
Well, hey, hang on a sec. Just and he goes over to Maro, and he's like, "Hey, clang, clang, clang. Can you
Trolley.
remind me about? I think it was Section E and Maro, the disc in its chest starts spinning quickly, and
The inevitable.
spits out this basically chunk of. Does anybody want to read that out loud, or do you want me to do it? I don't know how well it shows up on stream.
The Warlock shall, in all
I
their
don't see it.
dealings with the Emerald Syndicate, work towards the utter destruction of Ortis NASCAR?
Mhm.
The Warlock is permitted to aid the Emerald Syndicate in order to gain greater influence with the Shadar Kai, but if the sum total of the Warlock's interactions with the Emerald Syndicate is found to be of benefit to Ortis NASCAR, the Warlock can be charged with breaking this term and committing a major infraction of the contract.
And it says this in common, although a tinny version, like through a tin can telephone.
You mean it should have been
And
like,
Edwin's just like,
talking like this a bit, maybe?
yeah, exactly.
There you go. Do it.
Edwin's like, that's the one, Shadar Kai. So I can apparently, hang out with the Emerald Syndicate, don't know who they are, to gain influence with the Shadar Kai, don't know who they are, to eradicate Ortis Nascor, don't know who they are.
Does any of us know who Ortis NASCAR is?
Not a name that anyone here knows, although obviously the Emerald Syndicate, Shadar
Mhm.
Kai, anyone who wants to make a religion roll can.
Sure. No.
Sure, why not?
Nope.
Oh, I thought Trapper was going to
I
come
was
through
hoping.
there.
Ooh, maybe Rosie will know a thing.
I almost got up to the north, but I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
If this is AFK, but he is proficient, so I'll click one for
As
him.
it so
Okay.
happens, Rosie might know something. But the same amount as Minchi knows, apparently.
That's
Well,
That's for Ithis. That's Ithis.
Oh, that's for Ithis. Oh.
So, yeah, Rosie, you
Randomly enough.
you think that that the Shadar Kai are in some way related to the Raven Queen. And as you say this, Ithis can confirm that he thinks the same.
So Shadar Kai is associated with the Raven Queen. Real shocking.
Oh.
That would explain.
So, was it that Dice's person you told me about knew the Raven Queen or had raven wings or something?
Yeah. Why?
Oh. Ravens, bird wings. I thought they were
Yeah.
connected.
No. There was something about the Raven Queen. Yes.
Oh, and speaking of that young lizard lady, I'm sorry, I've never learned the proper term. I apologize if that's grossly offensive. Maro, clang clang, spit out section F.
Oh God. We're gonna get my cup.
Yeah, get your cup. Do it.
Get your cup.
The Warlock shall ensure that the Shadar Kai are unaware of the pact agreement between the Warlock and the Patron. If the Warlock intentionally reveals the pact agreement to the Shadar Kai or the Raven Queen, the Warlock can be charged with the breaking of this term and committing a major infraction of the contract. Meep.
I love it. Good job.
Yeah,
Yay!
So anyway, just kind of keep it from her if you could, because that'll really help me out in not being obliterated.
So it says that the Warlock intentionally reveals the pact agreement to the Shadar Kai or the Raven Queen.
That's right. Oh, hey.
Nope. Nothing to think about here.
Oh, I like the way you think.
This is all.
Oh,
Oh, you roboted.
I'm just saying, Minchi knows his loopholes.
Nope. Didn't get it again.
I think the internet's having a hiccup. Oh, we're back.
I'm alright.
Let's go. Let's try again.
One more
Nope.
time.
I got a 12.2% packet loss.
Yay!
All right, that's about. I felt like I was losing about 12% of that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, Manchinos is all about loopholes, so
Oh, yeah.
that's where his brain's gonna go.
Yep. So Edwin's like, okay, well let's talk later, okay?
Okay. This seems terrible. Anyway, okay.
Well, great. So I'm supposed to walk into town with my now shaved face. Oh no. Okay.
No, you guys probably should avoid town. Meet up with the caravan on the Northwest Road.
Okay. Sure.
I don't think it's a good idea for you to go in there, especially you're going to attract a little bit of attention.
Oh yeah, he goes
Yeah.
away when it's convenient to not be terrifying to a lot of people.
Does he shrink too?
No, he just disappears. I don't know if he's
Oh.
actually gone or just invisible. It's quite unnerving.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hmm.
I bet the dragon.
It's like, oh, Rodney's fallen asleep. Good. You won't bother me while I eat this cheese.
I feel should I wake up?
And I'll go, Indraconic, cheese.
Head off your shoulder in an instant bolts towards Edwin's hand and just devours it.
Oh, the cheese is gone.
The cheese stands alone.
All right, well, we're going to go back to town.
Someone say cheese?
Cheese.
I feel it's a terrible idea for you to actually go into the town.
I won't go into the town. I'll tell those Odin's Eye boys that I will meet them on the northwestern road, and I will catch up to them there.
Or they can pick you up there.
That works.
Great. Oh, and if you need anything, just ask.
Like, what? Do
A
you
mana
mean?
bomb?
Maybe. I think I have to do something first, but
I
I
don't
could
want
probably
to
get you a mana bomb.
Any contract?
You want a mana bomb?
No.
I can get you a mana bomb.
No.
No, just we'll talk later.
No.
And then he kicks Maro. He's like, Section B.
Oh God. Okay.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That's what she said.
The warlock may request monetary or material allowances, henceforth referred to as resources, from the patron in exchange for specific services, henceforth referred to as tasks, to be completed by the warlock. The requested resource may be provided to the warlock before the completion of a task, but no further resources will be provided until the previous task is complete. The patron is under no obligation to accept requests they receive, but they must deliver the resources agreed upon if they do accept the terms. Failure to do so within the agreed upon time frame results in the patron being charged with breaking
Edwin
the
slaps
term.
Maro. He's like, yeah. Fine print.
He'd be dead. Yep.
So that's how I got the mana bomb.
So,
I haven't done my task yet, but when I do,
Well, then that's fine.
I can get you anything you want.
I'm going to this is I guess a player thing, but
Mhm.
the ending of section B denotes that if he fails to do so within the agreed upon time frame, the patron is charged with it, not the warlock.
So if the patron agrees to provide a resource that he can't, then he is in infraction.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
So a reasonable task.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to regret asking this. Who is the patron?
Oh, Hadrian.
Yeah,
Adrian is your patron?
I figured as much.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. He is a good man. He's never been late on his taxes, except now that I have spent all of his taxes.
That sounds about right.
But what time is it now? It's probably mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it's about, well, not that late. It's about 1.
All right. We should probably get back into town then.
Edwin goes over and talks to the fighters of the Eye and basically arranges to have them meet him in the northwest of Foxrun in a day or so.
Okay. Shall we head back?
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So yeah, it's about an hour back. By the time you get into Foxrun, it's probably about 2 p.m.
All right.
What's the plan?
I am going to head over to the essences.
Yeah, same here. It's probably long enough-ish. Oh, I said 4 hours, so...
Yep.
I'll just
Right.
cruise.
Yeah, you head back in. There's a jingling. Seems to have quieted down after the morning in here, and there's no Eris on the ground floor, but Gwendolyn is in the back with her curly, long blue hair, and she kind of looks over her shoulder. And you were there last time, Caleb, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, Caleb, good to see you again.
And you?
I don't think Eris is quite done with your potions yet, but I can let him know you're here."
Oh, it's fine. I just came along with this one.
Hello, that one.
Hello, Chinos Inflicari.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You're
Yes.
part one of the owners. It's a
Yep.
And she kind of gets up and dusts off her gown and goes to shake your hand. Her hand is like studded in strange jewelry, very
Go
fine
on.
features, and she says like it's a pleasure to meet you.
It is. I know. And likewise. You're the enchanter?
Mhm.
Excellent. I may have a commission for you.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
And I'm gonna take the staff that we got at excuse me. Bremwick, the new staff.
The +1
Yeah.
staff of the War Mage, yeah.
And I'm just gonna say, you recognize this type of thing, this type of work.
She looks at it. She goes, "This is very fine. Where did you acquire this?"
In Bremwick,
Hmm.
at the Brass Dragon. Is that the name of the
Brass
place?
Drake, yes.
Brass
Yes,
Drake.
I'm
Thank
familiar.
you.
I've applied there several times. Their entry test is very difficult.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's sort of how I ended up here. I mean,
Wait,
well,
what?
I guess technically, you don't technically employ me, but you kind of do.
I mean, well,
I have greater aspirations than this old town. You must know
Right.
that.
no, I'm sure you do. And I'm going to take out the dragon head staff, my old
Mhm.
one.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, can I leave this with you and have the same type of enchantment placed upon it?
You'd like a duplicate.
Well, if you can do a little more to it too, a little something special. But this one has sentimental value to me.
I see. Now, did you want the enchantment duplicated or transferred?
Well, I'm assuming transfer is going to take a while.
Well, transferring is actually much easier than creating it from scratch.
Okay.
I could have that done, a transfer like this, in only 5 days.
Well,
Give or
I don't think
take.
I don't know if we're going to be here that long.
Oh, I see.
So I was thinking maybe I would leave the staff with you and you could work on it over time while we're traveling.
Okay, and just a duplication.
A duplication, and if you want to get a little something special, a little bit of dealer's choice of anything a little extra on there that might be good, especially if it's something fire or dragon related.
Yeah, she smiles and she's like, "Well, now you're talking my language. I always
I thought so.
like to get a little creative."
Mhm.
Yes, I can do that. Yeah.
Great.
So I will. I I don't know what the cost will be if I'm going to improvise a little bit, but obviously with that sort of flexibility, I can probably just charge resources.
Okay.
How about
All right.
you leave it here, and next time you're in town, or I send it out to you.
Yeah, I
Where will
accidentally
you
closed.
be in about?
Accidentally closed the inventory window.
She says, "Where will you be in about 16 days?"
16. Wow.
16 days. We're probably going to be. Checks the map.
Probably Rhemodina.
I thought we were going to head to...
No, Addersfield and Fort Yazid are the Whispering Temple.
Yeah, the
Is it really going to
Whispering
take us
Temple.
16 days to go there?
the X-Wing.
You know what? Why don't you send it on to Fort Yazid?
That works.
Sure. Yeah. Did you want
That's
to
probably
have
the
a
best.
password to pick it up via?
Look around. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Sure.
And I will cast. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. But now I got the thing back up. All right, and I will leave. I will leave 100 gold down payment.
Okay.
As well.
Sure. All right.
Cool.
And she's like, very well. This is going to be a fun project. I look forward to experimenting with this.
Great. Excellent.
You hear a bang come from upstairs, and like a startled, like, oh!
And Discord flickered exactly as you said that.
Ominous.
Eris starts coming down the steps slowly, and he's got like soot all over his face. And he goes, "Oh, Caleb, you're
Hi.
here.
Yes.
Good. I may owe you for one of the potions."
Okay.
But I did contact Paul, or rather, he contacted me via the stopper, and I have confirmed that one of the potions hates organic life.
Oh, lovely.
So here's half of it left. Pour that on anything you want to die.
Sounds good. Imagino, that's okay.
I'm start flaring a little bit.
He's like, I've managed to identify 2 more out of the 4. The 4th is stumping me, though. I might need a little more time with it.
Oh, that's fine. Take your time.
He hands you back. I'm just going to go back to my note here. He hands you back the one. So the one that is sort of half full now.
Yeah.
Was the one that was like a thick molasses.
Okay. And that was one that kills organic life.
Yeah, it basically incinerates something.
Cool.
Yeah. The second potion is the blue one with the worm. He says this one, if you are to... Actually, the potion itself is actually just like a preservative agent. The real thing is that worm. If you eat that worm, or rather you force feed that worm to somebody, they forget everything that happened in the last 4 days.
Lovely.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that the person who eats it is also very susceptible to suggestion in the hours afterwards, so realistically, you could probably use it to, change someone's memories for the last 4 days.
Cool.
And the third one, now this one is interesting. Where did you meet Paul?
On our way to Belbuck, I believe.
No,
Okay.
on the Leviathan Mountains.
Was it the mountains? I thought
If
it
I
was on the
remember
way
correctly.
It was on the long road towards Belbuck. I
Yeah.
don't think you had quite gotten there yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But he says, if you drink this one, You and everyone around you in a 10-foot sphere will be teleported back to that location.
Lovely. Okay.
One-way trip, though. So, be careful.
Cool.
Good thing you didn't drink that one in combat, eh?
I know, eh? We're just gone. Imagine like in the middle of the
The witnessing.
witnessing. Yeah.
Oh, that'd been funny.
Oof.
I have a player question for that one.
Mhm.
You said it's a 10-foot sphere.
That's right.
So I'm guessing radius,
Yeah.
or
10 feet wide, 10 feet high, pretty much.
5-foot radius, 10-foot diameter.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say that. Well, would I need to crouch down to get into that sphere, or?
It would
No.
take half of you, yes.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think as long as there's somebody partially in that, it just takes the whole person.
Okay.
We assume.
Um,
If there's a fly buzzing around,
yeah, it takes the fly.
Cool.
All right.
And the last one was that sort of giant bottle with the silvery liquid.
Yeah.
And he says that he needs a little more time with that one.
Yep, that's fine. Don't blow yourself up for it.
He's like, well, I taste a little bit. And as he says that, you realize that he's got a Band-Aid on the end of his tongue.
I'll taste a little bit. It's okay.
He's like, oh, right, your care package. And he runs upstairs, comes back down, and he's like, now you guys share. You're all equal shareholders here, I think. Well,
Two
no
of
longer
us.
Dices. She took her money.
I'm not part of it. I just.
Oh, no.
Well,
You
sure.
don't get any of this.
Don't worry.
He's like,
just wanted to
unless you would like to join the family and make a sizable investment.
How big? I'm gonna look into my pouch.
I have been looking at potentially specking out a teleportation circle for Foxrun. We don't have one yet. We could earn quite a bit of money, I think.
How much?
Whatever you want to invest.
I have 50 gold.
That's a good starting spot. That gives you, I think, 1/50th of the value of the business or something like that.
I'll save up a little bit longer. And I'll
Okay.
close my bag.
Okay. So he hands this to Caleb.
Yep.
It is, or rather, he says it is. So it's like a little box. He pulls out. First of all, there's a bag with 110 platinum pieces in it. He's
Nice.
like, "This. These are your dividends from your ownership here." This, and he pulls out a potion. He says, "This is a potion. This is actually for a customer who never came back. It's a potion of radiant resistance. Might be useful, maybe, but it's yours now." And I'll post this in the chat after too.
Yeah.
He says, "This is kind of a crappy wand of secrets. I don't know if you ever heard of those. Basically can get a sense about where hidden things are that might injure you, or secret passages, anything that somebody has put in a room that is intentionally designed not to be found. This will find them. I haven't quite figured out how to get things to recharge yet, so it's got 2 uses,
Okay.
and then it's sort of done, but it's yours."
Okay.
The last one is, and Caleb, you see these sort of sitting in the bottom. They are silver, quite shiny, horseshoes. There are 4 of them. And he says, "These are horseshoes of the Zephyr." It allows any steed that they are put on to be able to travel farther in a day without getting exhausted, and it can hover off the ground about 4 inches, meaning you can basically allow your steed to run on water.
Digits is gonna be happy.
I have a question about that.
No.
Yes.
If you put them on boots and wear the boots, does it work?
What if somebody is riding a Goliath that has
if you drill all 4 into the hands and feet,
Aw.
Okay,
has to
no,
be
go ahead.
secure it to the bone,
Uh-huh. Yep. All right, no, that's fine.
it
What-
might work.
What happens if you don't have bones?
I think this is a matter for science to decide then.
If you have no bones, unfortunately, the magic won't take.
Oh, I'm sorry, Boo.
Oh yeah.
Aw, nice try.
Oh no.
What?
Boo's on me right now. And I'm in a potion shop.
Oh yeah, you are.
Oh no! Oh,
Lovely.
this is gonna go great. Oh, this
Lovely.
is the best. Let's do this.
No.
What will Boo consume now?
You say that having realized that your hood is just filled with empty bottles. Is your friend Navik clinking?
I'll
I'm
look at Navik.
ignoring everything.
I'll look at Navik. Be like, Navik,
He does that.
why are you clinking?
Okay.
Mm.
Anyway, I trust that you'll enjoy the little care package, and I'll whip up. If you have any requests, let me know. I can try and get some potions made for you.
Your expansion for the teleportation circle. How much do you require?
That's quite a significant investment. We have already saved up about 15,000 gold pieces. We probably need about 10,000 more to construct the chamber with which it can be permanently installed. And then, of course, we need to find a partner circle. I'm not sure where, but I was thinking maybe Lumericad.
That works.
They've already got so many that it would be a... they're always willing to sort of subsidize people connecting to them.
Hmm.
But if there was another place that you would prefer to have it go, I'm open.
Not Bremwick.
Rhemodina would
Oh,
be
no.
nice, but
Well, it would take a while to do anyway.
Yeah.
Takes a while to make one and get it going. We should maybe it would definitely be worth our while to expedite this a little bit, wouldn't it?
I have a big emerald.
you're just full of gems.
I have a bag of holding with 1,030 platinum pieces in it.
I know, eh?
So I'm going to take 200 platinum out of it right now. Just put it on hand it to him and said, "Here's a little extra."
Wow, that's
From
a lot of
us.
money.
I mean, we
200 platinum?
Yep.
do have the 110 plat from our dividends. We can just reinvest.
Also true.
Sure.
So we'll do that.
Rosie's impressed by.
Did
all
actually
the
say I
money.
have a huge platinum in character.
Okay.
A huge emerald.
Huge emerald.
And I took it out.
Sure. That's the 1,000 gold one?
Yes.
Oh, now
So
he's
it's
getting
another-
part of the business.
100 platinum piece.
That'll pay off with
emerald.
all the potions Boo drank.
Navik, did you just
Yeah,
give up
pretty
a
much.
shiny?
You gave up plenty of shinies. I mean,
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
you tried to pay for Icky with gems, so I mean, oh yeah, you were
Fair.
there.
True.
Fair.
All right. So that is a total investment of 4,100 gold,
Mm-hmm.
We're almost halfway
which,
there.
yeah, will definitely basically almost builds the entire structure that the circle will be in. And also increases your total share, which I'll calculate after the session.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else in Eris's place?
Question for the DM.
Yeah.
If I'm using my staff as spellcasting focus, and I have not really figured out the entire final mechanism for my other focus,
Mhm.
I still need components for some things, right?
Currently, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me check one thing.
But in Eris's place, you could definitely buy a component pouch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a component pouch and make sure I have a couple of the ritual pearls.
Okay. And actually, as you before you do that, actually, just because it's relevant, Vincinos, you suddenly hear a roar of laughter come from the square outside. And out the window, you can see a group of people gathered around someone. And they're like clapping and sort of cheering. There appears to be some kind of a spectacle happening out there.
All right. Well, I'm still going to pay for that.
Okay.
So that's, if I'm not mistaken, I only actually need one because it doesn't seem like it's consumed.
No, it's not.
So, all right, I'll just need the one pearl then for 100 gold.
Okay.
And regular components.
Perfect.
Cool.
And I'll talk to Gwendolyn about the flashlights.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I sent you a message as well. In
Okay.
the DM chat.
Got it. Okay. All right. Before you head off, so Gwendolyn goes off with Navik to discuss the fine points of his greatest invention, which is, tell me again.
It's a stone that's permanently enchanted with the light spell, and it's in a flashlight cylinder. And you can cap off, cap on to focus the beam, and to turn it on, you have to shake it really hard.
Yes. She's like, this seems rudimentary. I could have this done by tomorrow morning.
And it could be a permanent item.
Yeah.
It would help so much with lighting things around town.
I agree.
Does she notice my necklace with the fireball beads?
Hang on, let me find out. She's not the most insightful person. No.
Oh, -3. Damn.
Yeah, her wisdom is not high.
Wow. I thought it would have been Arcana.
Well, this is just to sort of spot and make the connection, so I gave her an insight check. But Eris actually will come over to Caleb before you go and say, Mr. Caleb, by the way, this is really old now, but I thought you were dead. It's just been sitting upstairs, but here, and he gives you what looks like there's a wax seal on a oiled parchment, like leathered parchment, a vellum, neatly folded. Looks like it's been folded more times than it was originally intended to, and maybe stored under a big stack of books. But it's still there. And he's like, this was supposed to be delivered to you, but during the Slod crisis, I didn't want to risk it getting lost. It seemed important.
Yeah.
But you're alive, and that's great. And here you go.
Yay! What did I get? Just a parchment.
So you open it up.
Sure.
The last time you received one of these, you had probably just graduated from the sort of soldiering academy in your hometown of Maltharim.
Okay.
This is a notice of conscription.
Oh, lovely.
You are being called to war.
With who?
It doesn't say. It just says to report to a superior officer within Maltharim at your earliest convenience.
Oh, it doesn't say. Doesn't give me deadlines. We're good.
Yep.
Cool. I'll thank him and be like, yeah, it's a common mistake that people think I'm dead.
Yeah.
Might be for the better.
Okay.
He just
Do you want me to
smells
tell
that way.
people you're dead?
Sure.
Okay.
But he turned me into a newt, but I got better.
He's like, well, if that's everything, I'm going to go back and figure out what that big silver bottle contains.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you. Kind of trundles up the steps, trips on the way up. There is a crackle of electricity from the town square, and you hear a group of 100 people now just sort of inhale collectively. And Gwendolyn kind of looks out. She's like, oh, it's her again. She
Her?
wanders back to her table. She's like, oh, yeah, some entertainer.
Well then, look at Rosie. Probably go check this out.
Yeah, let's go.
Check the competition.
Good call.
All right.
So Rosie and Minchinos are heading out into the square.
Well,
Yeah.
if I'm done with Gwendolyn, then
Mhm.
I'll go as well.
Okay.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
No, that's why I'm going.
So you head out into the square. There's probably close to 100 people there, mostly lumberjacks and things like that. People from the local industry,
Okay.
peasants, things like that. And they're sort of moving their heads back and forth in the back ranks, trying to get on their tippy toes and trying to get a better view. And currently, whatever is happening is sort of obstructed from your sight. Although, Navik, you've got a pretty good vantage point.
Yep.
I guess I could put Rosie on my shoulders.
Sure.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
You'll have to contend with Boo though.
We'll cuddle. It's fine.
Boo is sort of amorphous right now. Just clearly,
Fat.
just
Full.
just very,
Totally
very,
drunk on potions.
yeah.
I picture
is-
it's kind of like slime, just like.
Yeah.
Bleh.
When you get on Navik's shoulders, there's a waste bin of 6 vials just clanking around in his hood, and Boo is in there just like a slug.
All right.
But there's room for you.
I'm small.
Minchinos, what are you doing?
I'm going to sort of let me see, what's the best way to do this? Yeah, let's do this one. I am going to sort of push my way in at the same time. I'm going to be casting thaumaturgy and just put little tremors as I'm walking just to sort of get people's attention and move them out of the way
Okay.
to push my way forward.
So yeah, there's a couple people from the back that just kind of like, they don't really know where this thing's coming from, and they just kind of move out of your way. And based on your clothing at the moment, they just assume that you're part of the act, and so they sort of clear a path to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in full noble asshole mode at the moment. So just
they just move
striding
out of the way.
in.
Some of the people at the front are more reluctant to get out of the way, but eventually yield to your sort of intimidating presence. Everyone with a good view, you can see that there is a woman, long black hair, sort of down to her waist, sort of like hanging over her shoulders, and there's like a tight little ringlet here and there. There is like small aquamarine gemstones that are sort of woven through her hair, and they keep catching the sunlight and like glittering. Her outfit is a brilliant purple, gold, turquoise as well, all delicate sort of flowing fabrics. And she's wearing sort of a short choli top, sort of like an Indian, not in this world, but you know what I mean, one of those like ones that bear the midriff and kind of tied at the top. And she's got these elaborate tattoos that sort of run up and down her hips and her shoulders. And in her hand, she has this blood red wand. It's wooden. It's got like this darker, almost black wood grain in it. And it sort of twists and turns like this piece of driftwood. And the other thing you see is there is a small winged snake, same color as the gemstones in her hair, hovering in place in front of her. And it seems transfixed by her dancing. The snake and the woman are both moving together hypnotically to this drum beat, with this like short old man in the corner, which is banging on a drum to this like basic beat. And then suddenly there is this thunderous crack of noise that just ripples through the crowd. There's a flash of light. It almost blinds you. And everyone gasps and covers their eyes. And there's like a small child that begins to cry. And you can actually smell
Rosie?
like ozone. Yeah, Rosie's breaks into tears.
This is amazing.
And your eyes sort of readjust to the flash of light. And the woman is now standing with her arms sort of above her head, and her hair is sort of like whipping around violently as though she is in a windstorm. And there is a bolt of lightning that
very
is
frightening.
in her hands. And she seems to have caught it. And the lightning is sort of writhing and coiling around her arm. And she begins to sort of pull it down in front of her. The flying snake over to one side begins to dance one more. The beat picks up, and now she's using this bolt of lightning that just struck as almost like a ribbon, like a dancer's ribbon in like a gymnastics routine. And it's just sort of crackling, and every time it passes near one of the people in the peripheral circle, their hair sort of stands on end as it whips by.
Is this real?
Make an Arcana check.
I'm just be like, Minnie, how cool is she? She's so cool.
I didn't move up.
We don't see any. I'm on your shoulders, so I can see it.
Yeah, you
But
can see it.
I'm far away. I'm at the front of the crowd.
Oh, you're far away? I'm okay.
Yeah.
So I won't be tapping him on dabbing on that guy. Dabbing. This is so cool. Like a kid, just be like, ah.
If it is not real, it is a very good illusion.
Okay.
Yeah. And you think that it might be a mixture.
Yeah.
The routine sort of ends. The lightning is sort of encapsulated back, and it's almost like she throws it back up into the sky, and it just streaks off into a vanishing point. Crowd erupts with applause, and and she kind of bows and then moves over to go and sit next to the small drumming man.
Yeah. These are whistling. Yeah.
And the crowd is.
Yeah, they're like throwing coppers and things like that into their bin. Couple silvers here and there.
She's cool.
I am going to start going over there.
Mhm.
Sort of introduce myself.
You would.
Yeah, I am. I know.
As the Magnificent.
No, actually not yet.
You know, Minnie won't be sleeping alone tonight. I saw the eyebrows, just like, you know it. Them goals.
Yeah, no, introduce myself and say that was quite the performance you did there.
Thank you very much.
You must have studied long to get that level of control.
Yes, my whole life.
You had Lumericad?
For some time.
Yeah?
Not my full career, but sometime.
Yeah.
She's Russian.
No, she's taking your time. It's cool. Sorry. Not sorry. That's awful. So I'm professional curiosity, but I'd also like to know a little bit more about how you do all of that. Is it related to your music? Are you conjuring? Kind of curious. And I'll just, as I'm saying this, I'll sort of have conjure a flame that dances kind of the way she was. To show I'm curious and I have ability.
Yeah, so she sees the flame sort of conjured in your hand, and she gets sort of this impish smirk on her face, and she goes, "Ah. So are you going to put on a performance for me too?"
Oh, here, wait
Maybe.
for it. Oh.
Well then.
That's a great scream. Good job.
Perfect timing. as
Suddenly,
well.
like I'm home alone, and suddenly I feel like the presence of another.
He peed a little there. He was like,
Maybe we're actually, my companion and I are supposed to be doing a bit of a performance later tonight, actually at the end, but I'm sure we could probably come up with ways to perform.
So you are the reason that I have to stay at the Shepherd and Wayne tonight.
I apologize. I did not know.
She's like, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Apparently, I am not the hottest act in town."
It's a fire
Are we
thing.
there? Navik, are we going over there? Come on, Navik. He's talking to her.
I'll head over.
We couldn't go talk to.
I mean, you'd be welcome to at least join us for the show as my guest.
Maybe I will take you up on that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you can do.
She wants to see my bagpipes.
Not yours.
Wow.
I think Victor just died a little.
Victor's
tell
immune
by
to
my
this.
face.
Yeah.
It's heard worse.
She says, she's like, "Well, if you can keep a trade secret, my penchant is not for elementalist, but more illusion.
I thought
Is
it might
yours, I get the sense, is more elemental, yes?
be. Tends to be, yes.
You see, even in my show, and she looks over at Rosie, and she's like, and not to spoil the excitement of it, but even the crying child was just an illusion."
It was a very good one.
Oh, thank you.
Very hard to detect. I didn't
All right.
even know.
Have Navik and I got over there yet?
Yeah, we're over there now.
Yeah, I assume she just addressed you.
I'm like, okay, I wasn't sure if it was just pointing over.
No,
Like,
yeah.
I
it's
didn't
really
even.
nice to meet you. I really liked your show. You're really cool. Oh my god, you're the best. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
This is.
You're still on my head,
Yeah.
on my shoulders.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like leaning over, trying to shake her hand. I'm like, I'm Rosie Dandelion. I'm really happy to meet you. You're really nice. I really like you. I'm a bard. I'm with him. It's really good to meet you.
Ah, a fellow bard. It's a pleasure to meet you. And she kind of stands up and reaches because you're still on Navik's shoulders.
As I'm saying,
I'll just sit down
Crouch.
on the ground.
I'll hop off his shoulders.
Yeah.
And I'll shake her hand.
So
Didn't
she
even
says,
catch your name. I apologize.
it's like, oh, my name is Priya Madani.
Priya Minchinos.
Pleasure.
to meet
And yours? And she kind of looks back to Rosie again.
Oh, I am Rosie Dandelion. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm going to take off my hat and give him.
She's like, you are after my own heart. Very good. I am also a bard, although I come from very far away.
You're wonderful. Sorry, what was her name again?
Priya.
Oh, Priya.
And she's like, and your steed here? You must be quite the powerful bard to have tamed such a beast.
No, he's my friend. He's a very good friend. His name is Navik.
she kind of gives Navik sort of a coy wink.
Oh no! I bet Rosie didn't see it. Rosie totally wouldn't have noticed.
I'll smile.
Rosie's oblivious.
She's like, so I hear you are going to be performing at the Cat's Eye tonight, yes?
Yeah, you should come watch.
I will.
This is awesome. What do you think, Minchinos?
I think it's great. I mean, especially now that I'm starting to learn some of your ways and techniques as well. This is wonderful.
He's a really fast learner. He could probably teach you some stuff.
Oh, yes.
This is
I
all
have no
completely
doubt.
innocent, so-
Well,
I have
perhaps
no
we
doubt.
can trade. Maybe I teach you some of the bardic arts, and you teach me some of your elementalist ways. Yes.
Absolutely, it would be a pleasure.
Okay. Well, I will see you then. What time are you performing?
7.
7 o'clock. I will be there. Is there a dress code?
Not as far as I'm concerned.
Very well. I will wear something fancy then.
Excellent.
And she's like, Mr.
I'm glad you
Minchinos,
liked that one.
I appreciated that. That was good.
Mr. Minchinos, can I have your ear just a moment to the side?
Sure, of course.
She kind of walks over to the corner with you. And she's like, and she kind of has this sort of little impish grin still on her lips. And she kind of looks past your shoulder a little bit. And she goes, may I ask you a question that I apologize if it is too forward?
No, please.
The little one there, Rosie, is she single?
I can't really speak for that, but I believe so.
Okay. Well, I look forward to your show.
Fantastic. I can't wait to have you there.
She kind of gives your goatee like a playful stroke as she kind of turns away and walks back to her troop partner.
So it gets better and better and better.
So I cast peer pressure cooker on Rose.
Poor Minchinos is like, God damn it, I was so close.
No, actually, no. That's actually Minchino sees this more as a challenge, and
Oh,
he's
no.
not entirely turned off by the idea.
Oh, no, Rosie.
All right,
This
it
is
is 10:30.
Minchinos.
I'm not that surprised. I'm really not surprised.
Let's take our 5-minute break
Cool.
and return back here.
Yep.
Great.
Quick 5-minute break, and we will return
All right.
Time to dehydrate.
and rehydrate. We'll be right back.
After these messages.
The whole thing came out all at once. I was amazed.
Well, that's good. It's probably such a
Wow.
relief for you.
Yeah,
It
no
really
kidding.
was.
Mhm.
I admit it was uncomfortable at first, but
And this is
Yeah.
what we come back to, ladies and
oh,
gentlemen.
we're back.
Oh, I didn't know
Countdown.
we were live.
Countdown.
I know. Come on.
Somebody
I
needs to floor
asked.
manage.
I asked.
Jeez.
I hate you all.
All right. So as the crowd disperses in the Foxrun Square, there is the conversation that takes place between Priya Madani, Rosie Dandelion, and Michinos and Navik. Ithis, sometime during that sort of whole performance, there is a small chirp of some kind from your backpack. And it just sort of keeps sort of chirping slightly, like a slight vibrate. And you realize that it is the sending stone that Sarka gave you.
So you laying eggs now or something?
I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, and you hear a faint voice come through. She's like, "Hello, Ithis?
Hello.
I hadn't heard from you. I wanted to check in. Where are you these days?"
Very far north. We're in Foxrun.
Foxrun. I've never been that far north. Where are you headed?
Rhemodina at the moment. We're gonna wait for the summer to cool down.
I see. Well, that's quite some time. I guess I won't be seeing you in my eyrie in the Southern Hook. Probably until next year then.
I'm sorry to say that, but if you'd like to keep in contact, we can use this.
Well, yes, absolutely. And actually, I've been doing a little bit of digging on your behalf. I just wanted to update you. I think I've found something interesting if you're interested. I learned that there is another eyrie in the north, just beyond the Galebreak Mountains. It's in an area, actually, in the region you'll be passing through, at least, well, if you're going to Rhemodina, it's a little bit at ways, but there's this area known as the Devil's Kiln. It's a dry gulch of some kind on the other side of the Galebreaks. There is a tribe there, an eyrie of Aarakocra, and everything that I've read indicates that they are just as xenophobic and zealous as your tribe, Ishkari. But what I also heard is that they also produce seekers like yourself.
Perhaps we could find some allies.
Potentially, as I said, they are quite unwelcoming. But as I mean, the Ishkari are the only other tribe or area that I know of who produce seekers, and I thought it would be of consequence to you.
Also, if I might tell you for a moment,
Yes.
something is different with the quill. Not different as it was before, but off, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know what you can make of this, but perhaps you can help me figure out what's going on. I've been, well, I think something, the quill, whatever entity it's associated with, perhaps even Avali or one of her disciples in the plane of air or something, it is taking control of me. And when I'm not really intending to do any harm, it takes me over, and well, I drain something out of whatever it is. It's an aura of some sort of energy, and they die soon after, and I feel like this is not the magic we were led to believe.
I see. So you are not in control of your own actions?
At times, it comes and goes, but it was very strange. I saw one of my kin, and that triggered it. for the first time.
So what happened?
It took. You won't tell anyone, will you?
It depends on what you're about to tell me.
It took me over and made me drain an essence out of him.
What
He
kind of
died.
essence? Oh,
Hubba hubba.
I don't know, but the quill is doing this. I am sure of it, and I feel like perhaps this is not a good thing to be doing.
no. I've heard that seekers are feared, at least in the research that I've done, but I didn't know why. I guess that's why. Why is it? Do you hear a voice? Is it or is it just a presence?
I heard a voice say north, but it's more at one point, so it's a good thing we're traveling that way anyway.
North.
Yes, while I was in Bremwick.
Well,
It can't be leading me to this area, could it?
I don't know. I don't. Ithis, when we met that second time, or really the first time, I saw something within you. I can sense that you are a seeker, but you did not have the quill at that time. I don't know if I agree that the quill is the issue. You are being pulled by a presence that can control you, now we know, but I wonder if it is because, well, you seek because you are the seeker. And I think, if my research is correct, I see because I am the watcher. I think I can guide you. But I don't know about this presence. It sounds... Well, I have much to discuss when I get back to my home. I'll be leaving soon. I should be there before the autumn winds roll into Adiaco.
Keep in touch, please, because this is very concerning, but it is good to have someone to help out, for sure. I spent my whole life afraid of everyone else, and now for the first time I have people that I can trust, and you don't know how much that means to me.
Listen, when I get home, is it okay that I tell the airy wind speaker of my home about you?
Kind of thinks on it for a moment. I suppose, yes.
She's very wise. I think she could help us a lot here. I'm certain she will be able to help.
You will, yes, you may.
Okay. Well, I guess I will talk to you soon, Ithis of Ishkar.
Thank you, Sarka.
Well, Avali lends you favorable winds. And the connection drops. Damn cell service here.
Yep.
Foxrun.
Oh gosh,
worst.
that's the worst. You need a better provider, dude.
Yeah. At this point, it is probably just around 5 p.m. What is Caleb doing?
What is Caleb doing?
Probably preparing to... I'm assuming we're leaving the following day, so probably preparing supplies and whatnot for the travel.
Okay. Are you restocking the ship at all?
Yep.
Okay. How many days do you want to have of basically food and water in the ship?
So you're saying that the rivers go up to Fort Yazid, right?
Yep.
Okay, so probably enough to get to Fort Yazid at the time.
Okay. I'll do some math and make sure. 185 to there. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the math and figure out what it would cost to load up for your ship of people and animals in there.
I'll also have Giorgio acquire legal supplies or legal resources to bring to sell in order to kind of continue the trade.
Sure. From Foxrun, the two biggest things that are good to sell are obviously lumber. That's what Foxrun is known for. But you could also potentially load up on like basic healing kits and stuff like that from your own business.
Fair enough. We can do that.
I'll do some thinking on that and see what trade good seems the most appropriate that you can sell elsewhere and make some money on.
Okay. Yeah, we can chat.
Cool. All right. Did you want to just skip to the show or post show? Do you actually want a scene?
I didn't really prepare. I prepared sort of an overview of what I was going to do, and ask Rosie to, at least for my part of the show, have Rosie sort of accompany the meet with music, tell the story of the Horde Breaker and fighting, and make flame representations.
You can make flames come out of my bagpipes.
I can do that too. But the Horde Breaker against the giant bear spirit, and the eagle, and how the Horde Breaker and his companions defeated all of the spirits to achieve his glory, in very kind of vague mythological type terms. But the whole thing is done with the animated flames of the eagle flying around, and etc.
Okay.
Lots of use of prestidigitation and thaumaturgy as well.
Sure, yeah. And actually, Priya Madani is sitting at front row center, basically, and I think halfway through, you realize that there are definitely, she is, wanted or not, she is sort of caught up in the moment, and there actually begins to snow on stage during the performance. But the whole time, she cannot or does not sort of pull her eyes away from Rosie.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love it. I love it.
And
I love it.
yeah, the show is a hit. The owner of the Cat's Eye Inn comes up to you guys at the end, and it's just like, that was incredible. If I had known, I mean, I haven't filled this place in months. But thank you. Anything I can do to make your stay tonight any better, here, and he kind of hands you both 75 gold. Here's your cut. It was a very profitable night. Thank you.
Excellent.
Anytime you are back in Foxrun, no questions asked. I will cancel any act.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, anything is better than the regular who's just stomping Al.
Oh, I bet Stomping Al is wonderful.
I mean, he has his fans, but it's really just him stepping into two buckets and stomping around for a while.
Is he weird at all? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
So he could go by Weird Al?
I'll run it by him. It's possible he's looking for a rebrand.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to run that past his legal team too.
Yeah.
Weird Stomping Al.
So you guys have a room here for the night. Where is Caleb?
Two.
Yeah, you guys got 2 rooms here. Are you sharing them, or where is Navik, Caleb, and Ithis staying?
I feel like I'd be intruding.
Yeah. I'll get my own room. Fine.
Yep.
I might have a friend tonight.
She gets a luxury suite.
I don't know, though. I don't know what Rosie would do. Staying alone with a lady.
Navik and Ithis, you can sleep on the boat as well. That's free.
Yeah, I was just
I
going to go to the
prefer
boat.
Yeah, okay.
Sleep in the crow's nest.
All right, and then your next day, what are your plans?
Pack up and leave.
Um,
I don't know.
did we get a chance to talk with Priya? Did Priya have a dalliance?
That's up to Rosie.
Dun, dun, dun. Spotlight.
Yep. All right, so we're all grabbing breakfast.
Yeah.
And Priya walks down in the borrowed bathrobe.
Oh, yeah.
Roll performance.
Oh!
I don't have to this time.
I'm totally gonna roll performance. I want to know how that night, how she went for her first time.
Oh, God.
Yep.
It went well.
Plus 11.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I got them
Louise.
skills.
She went to the gas station, got those little pills first.
I got the heating lube. Okay.
For her.
I don't know.
The older gentleman who was playing the drums is sort of just like eating breakfast sullenly at the end of the table. He's got like this
I hear you,
like
buddy.
long
Fist bump.
yeah. He kind of looks at you. He's got like this long handlebar mustache that just trails down to his chest. He kind of snorts air out of his mouth, and the mustache goes. Whoosh.
Wonderful.
Nice.
He goes back to eating. Everything he does seems rhythmic. It's like even his eggs, like the fork kind of hits the plate
Mm-hmm.
in regular succession.
So we get Stomping Alley, and it's an off-Broadway production.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun.
So Priya sits next to Minchinos, and she goes like, "So, about our trade."
So we are actually going to be traveling, heading up eventually to Rhemodina. You're welcome to travel with us, and we can work on our trade then.
That's good. I actually just came from Rhemodina, but I hear it gets cold here soon. I don't want to see that. So
It's not what it's cracked up to be. You're right.
yes, sure. I will pay passage for the two of us.
Well, it's actually with the group. Myself, Rosie, the big
really?
guy. Yeah.
I definitely will pay passage for.
And you're absolutely welcome to join us, and we can work on a lot of different forms of education, apparently. There are lots of people involved.
I look forward to this.
I need to learn scrying.
Have I ever?
You dirty old man. Thank you.
When has he ever proven otherwise?
Yeah, I know. It's wonderful. I'm not.
Have I ever mentioned? I'm pretty sure I mentioned it probably in every other session, but we need a bigger boat.
Yeah, you do.
It's getting cozy.
Yeah, I have.
Rosie.
I haven't finished drawing the hold of the name pending yet, but it is basically just going to be hammocks.
Bunks.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we need the whole thing like from Harry Potter with the tents that are like TARDISes
Oh, yeah.
and they're bigger on the inside. We
just
need a
need
ship
tents
like
of
that.
holding.
Yeah,
We need a ship of holding.
You need to learn the mansion spell, then, is what you're saying.
that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, technically, if we had the door, which I know what people are currently using, but we could put the door on the ship. We're good.
Speaking of which, I went back and checked, and that door does expire in what is effectively October in this world.
Okay.
So at that time, basically, the mansion or the manor and everyone in it will be expelled into the Swine and Pearl, and Maggie can choose to place that door down anywhere she likes and commit it for another year.
Cool.
So
Which
just so
is
you know.
kind of what we told them when we left.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was quite that soon, but yeah,
No,
because
it sounds about right, though.
yeah, it was around Halloween because I remember I had set that up as sort of like a Halloween
Yeah.
episode, but it was a little delayed.
Yep. And the end of the campaign was the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a way to get Maggie out, you can absolutely slap that thing down in that ship.
It's
I mean, by that time we probably
decent
won't have the ship
distance away.
anyways, Yeah.
I don't think Rhemodina is the type of place where we can buy a bigger ship, though, right?
Sure.
I mean, not
Sure, that's
Rhemodina.
important.
Sorry, Foxrun.
No.
Foxrun, no.
No,
Yeah.
I was looking at the map, looking at the plotting, and then brain.
I mean,
cramped.
there's nothing saying we can't have more than one ship.
Also true.
Because we can't give up the name pending. Our beloved vessel.
Okay, sure.
Well, no, because then we get a second boat. We name it Name Pending, and then the Name Pending can be the ship formerly known as Name Pending.
Or name
just a
pending
symbol. Name pending the second.
Yep.
Or,
Still
It's in
pending.
brackets.
yeah, name still pending.
Name still pending.
Yes, this one too.
Yeah. We'll figure
No,
it out
that's the third
eventually.
one.
Right. Okay.
Eventually, yeah. We'll figure it out eventually.
If anyone has any short rest recovery abilities, you can use them.
I might as well fill up on my hit dice. Although we're getting close to that week, aren't we?
Well, we have to do an actual proper long rest.
How long is the trip?
From Foxrun to... Are you stopping in Addersfield, or are you basically going all the way to Fort Yazid?
I don't think we'd actually figured out exactly yet, because we have to. Well, we have to stop at Addersfield anyway, right? Or does the river actually go to Fort Yazid?
Yeah,
River
as long as...
goes-
So you actually branch off. It's hard to see because of the dotted line there, but the
Okay.
the northmost branch actually goes all the way to Fort Yazid.
All right. I didn't see a need to stop then myself, but I don't know if Caleb needed to.
I mean, I'm getting supplies for all the way to Fort Yazid, so
Cool.
need to stop if we don't have to, but we can if we want to.
Should we look at buying another smaller boat?
We're gonna need a smaller boat.
I mean, how much would a boat cost? Because I mean, we kind of acquired this one because Giorgio was.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the name pending technically is still Giorgio's ship.
Yeah.
Is it though?
So Caleb hired Giorgio and the crew for probably like 5 months of service,
Mhm.
plus whatever they've been shipping back and forth that they sold in Baumgarten. Giorgio may have lost some of that money
Yeah.
with a malaligned business deal, but a ship like this is probably about 8 to 10,000 gold by
Yeah.
itself.
Figured.
You could get
Alright.
like a keel boat for like $1,000, which would hold like 6 or 7 people.
We'd also need to have a crew for it. So what if we just hired one for this trip?
We could do that too.
Like hire another boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get us take
Yeah.
us to Fort Yazid.
Yeah, that works too.
So you'd have 2 ships going.
Yep.
And then is the idea to sort of divide the...
The group across the 2 ships, or maybe one be more cargo. Or, I don't know.
Would that also
Sure.
be a smart idea instead of having all our eggs in one basket? Because if anything happens, we would lose everybody.
Yeah. True.
Are you planning on getting the rest of the Fighters of the Eye in on a ship?
I would
Is that
say-
the idea?
Well, except for the ones that are traveling via the caravan with Edwin.
Well, that's the one I was thinking. Sorry, I thought the second ship was for them.
It can
Well,
be. I just didn't
it can
want
be.
Edwin and his baggage on my ship.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
Gosh, why?
I mean, we can put Edwin and his baggage and Machinos on the other ship.
No, because I actually have to be on this one with Priya,
Yeah.
and I don't think Rosie's not going to be on the same ship. Be on a different ship from Priya either.
That's fine.
That's
Rosie
fair.
and
Rosie
Priya
gets
can
his
be on the
captain's
ship.
quarters.
There's
Exactly.
educating going on. Oh,
Educate.
that's right.
Got the private room.
Captain's quarters.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm just gonna randomly generate the name of this second ship. You can call it whatever you want, but it's definitely got a name already. And you're dividing the number of people. So where should most of like the Odin followers be on the other ship, or
Yeah.
you just want to sort of split it down the middle?
The nameless ones can be on the other ship.
Sure.
The red shirt ship?
Whatever.
Yeah,
The red shirt ship, sure.
The red shirt ship. There's your name.
Sure.
Don't say that 10 times fast.
I actually should ask Phil, what do you want? I've been using all kinds of names for them, mostly because they are disorganized and need a leader. What would you like this group to be called?
I'll get back to you on that.
Sure.
Figure something out.
The Butcher Buddies.
No.
The Butcher Buddies. The Beanie Babies.
Caleb's crew, spelled with a K.
Okay.
And a 3.
In crayon.
That's the Navix contribution.
Yeah.
We hope it's brown crayon. We don't know.
Nobody wanted to actually check that closely.
All right, so we can work out all of the sort of costs and finicky details. But basically, you're stocking up. You're paying for 2 ships, or paying for another ship rather, and a crew to run both of you to Fort Yazid. And if you want, I'm just going to take that measurement again. I think it was like 230 miles
It's
total?
180 to Addersfield, and then like 50 to Fort Yazid.
Yeah, 180 plus about 50.
Hey, look at that.
All right, so if you're going...
So where are we going to next? To
Fort Yazid.
Fort Yazid.
And then I think we're deciding what we're doing next. People want to go to the Whispering Temple. Because it
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Isn't that the X-Wing Temple?
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard there's a small exhaust port. And that if you aim for it.
You know what? You leave your and Priya's little evening escapades out of this for now. Thank you.
Little exhaust port. Oh, goodness. Something womp rants. All right, you guys are going to take 8 and a bit days to get from Foxrun to Fort Yazid with the 2 ships.
Would that count as downtime if we are still learning with
Yep.
doing the learning with our various mentors?
Yeah, so you can do 2 things in this regard. You can
Long rest.
long rest, because it's 7 days. You can basically decide, and then during that long rest, you can choose to basically learn or do downtime activities. Ithis, you are welcome to contact Sarka and try to uncover new details in that regard. Sort of maybe like discuss at greater length to see if there's something that either of you have missed. Rosie, you can increase your sea vehicles
Rosie's
proficiency.
learning some very important skills this voyage.
Yeah.
But also,
Minchinos
yes.
can because Rosie and Minchinos will be vying for for Priya's time, because she can absolutely sort of mentor you in sort of the bardic
Cool.
arts.
Because at the end of it, I'd like to at least start to have a focal instrument.
Definitely. Yep.
use
And
Priya.
Caleb, you are planning on spending time with Grinds the Gears?
Yep.
All right. So, I think that as the week goes on, your and particularly once you sort of round the southernmost of the gale breaks, and that desert wind starts sort of blowing through the mountains, the air becomes drier. There's a distinct change in the smell. The grass color changes. And there is that ever-present hot air that just sort of buffets you further, and Giorgio basically can take advantage of that as well with the instruction that he's giving to Rosie. And I don't know what this kind of... I'm sure the smells and things like that have a fairly significant nostalgic effect on Minchinos.
Yeah, home
It has been over a year, yeah.
Yeah, great, wonderful.
Let me show you what Fort Yazid looks like. If I can find my splash page. Fort Yazid is interesting. It's been sort of a... Actually, I can just do that in the meantime. I can show you this in the meantime. So Fort Yazid is one of those sort of outposts that during times of war basically changes hands constantly. It is like a true choke point. If this was a like RTS map, this would be like the key control point between those regions. And during times when it's not at war, and actually Caleb has probably defended this place even during the Grain Wars when you last participated in a campaign. You likely were stationed here or near it.
How likely am I to know people here?
There might be a couple of individuals that you have gotten to know in passing. I don't know how much time you would have spent here.
Well, I'm also talking previously before.
It's possible.
Okay.
5e doesn't really have a good contact role. I might homebrew something up for that because I think it's useful.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we'll borrow
more
circles.
More along the lines of, would I be concerned about being recognized?
I think it's probably pretty slim, at least to be recognized by the people that you wouldn't want to be recognized by.
Yep. Okay.
A little too far south, and this is mostly just military.
Cool.
So there won't be many nobles here, if any at all.
Good.
But certainly, Caleb, your soldiering background will come into play here.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that you wanted to have a contact with, that's probably likely as well. And as you arrive, the river basically dries up and turns into these long trenches that are basically just carved sand stone that the hull of a ship can just sort of belly up into. And it acts as almost like a natural dry dock. And when you are... actually, I'm just going to switch over to the Ignis track splash because something to look at.
It's pleasant.
The dry docks are just constantly busy, and you can see that there are these great they look like scaffolding that is being attached to all these other ships. Michinos and Caleb, and actually Ithis, you've been through here as well. You know that the Ignis Tracts is often traversed by normal seafaring vessels that are equipped with runners, so that you can basically sail on the sand.
Ooh, cool.
I like it.
So as you arrive, the dry dock sort of spins into action because they're hoping that one of these vessels is going to pay for basically a retrofitting to allow you to keep on sailing through. And there's two of them, so they get real excited. And you come into port, the dry air sort of blowing in your hair. It is now very hot. Some of you who are wearing heavy armor and things like that, and big robes may want to stop here. And
yeah, I'm wearing more like the artistic rendition of Minchino's.
Sure,
is not the more of the lighter weight clothing.
And
The roll up sleeves.
And if we were doing a long
No
rest,
sleeves. Sleeves are bullshit, man.
If we were doing long rest, I probably would have been more out of the plate and probably into more leather based.
Yeah, and actually there are things you can get in Fort Yazid to help deal with the climate in the Ignis Tracts. For instance, for Caleb, you can get this oil that you can put on your armor that reflects the heat away.
Okay.
There's also basically like in the Leviathan Mountains, you had the cold weather gear. You can basically get hot weather everything here, and stock up for the trip. The other thing is your water rations are doubled in the Ignis Tracts.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sort of stock up for the next leg of your trip, at least going north, you'll want to get more water than you normally would. But as you arrive, the docks are buzzing. We'll figure out what you've sold to Fort Yazid, if anything. You may want to just carry on to Rhemodina with it. But again, we'll do that off session.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of people kind of coming up to the ship. Soldiers looking to inspect it. A couple of business-looking people who want to try and make deals. And one sort of dockmaster who kind of strides up, big belly. Looks like he's just like, he hates the long walk out onto the dry dock, but it's his duty. And he's like, all right, who's captain here?
Oh God.
That would be I.
All right, little one, come on. What's the name of this vessel? And he pulls out like this little parchment.
This would be the name pending.
I'm sorry?
The name pending.
Did you want to decide that now, or?
No, that is the name of the vessel.
The name pending.
Yes.
All right. All right. Kind of writes it down. And then you're Captain...
I am Rosie Dandelion.
Captain Rosie Dandelion of the name pending. Great. Any other declarations that you want to make as you come into the port?
It's hot.
No, I was gonna make.
I've never heard that one before.
I know.
Rosie Lee goes, "That's my girlfriend," and point over.
Yeah, he kind of looks. He goes, "Nice." He's like, "All right, well, enjoy your time in Fort Yazid. It's a piss hole. If you're looking for a good drink, you're not going to find it. If you're looking for good food, definitely not going to find it. I hope you like eating iguanas. And enjoy your time. And don't start any fights."
Noted.
I make no promises.
It's not that bad.
Nor him.
I desperately do not want to have iguanas.
Iguana on a stick. It's a Fallout classic.
Yeah.
No.
So unfortunately, Fort Yazid, aside from being like a very beautiful sort of architectural location, there is not a lot of sort of like fun and games to be had here. It is a garrison and a provisioning port, mostly dealing with trade coming from Bremwick in the south through to Rhemodina in the north. So there's probably like close to 60 other ships, some of them bigger than yours, in this huge sort of dry dock area. So there's a ton of people here, but they are all very busy and very tired, and basically they're working. What is your plan?
What is our plan, actually?
I assume just get provisions and move on.
So are we going to Rhemodina then? Or are we waiting for the summer to pass?
I thought we were going south to the Whispering Temple.
Because we had to kill some time for the summer to pass.
X-Wing.
Yep.
I mean, it's only been, what, 8 days? And we're coming into August now?
Yeah, actually, let me adjust the calendar real quick here. So that was... There was 1 day in Foxrun after that, and then 1, 2, 3, 8. And so on the 29th, so yeah, it'll be like basically August 1st in 2 days. So it's going to be hot. Basically, in Manchinas, again, you know this, if you're traveling through the Ignis Tract, you do it at night. There's no daytime travel, so you'll probably need to like flip your schedules for at least a day in Fort Yazid. Basically, stay up all night and sleep in the day and try to reset. The winds are actually fairly favorable at this time of the summer to travel, but when the daytime comes and you are basically at a snail's crawl, even in a retrofitted ship, it gets like dangerously hot in that ship. But it can be done.
I mean, if we do this Whispering Temple, it's only going to probably be at most, what, 2 weeks? Will be the middle of August.
If you walk there, 160.
Oh, yeah, if we have to walk, we don't have to boat anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a 7-day. It's a week-long trip just to the area where it would be, and then however long you spend there, and 7 days back. About 2 weeks.
I'm more than okay with doing that. Meaning Manchinas is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess we have to wait for the other guys anyways. Oh no, we got to do the boat. Never mind. Duh. So we have Edwin and all them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, again, it's up to you. I assumed if you had the second boat, then it would be
yeah.
a fairly
Still
easy
another-
thing to...
And it's still another week or so before my package gets delivered to Fort Yazid, too.
Yeah, fair. You want to wait for that? Okay.
Yep.
So
alternatively-
Edmund's friend Mallow, invisible.
Maro?
Maro, that's it.
Bone Marrow, come on.
Bone Marrow, yeah. Is he
Mallow.
there, or is he...
When the other ship arrives, actually, Maro is not around. Edwin's like, yeah, he comes and goes. Sometimes I'll be sleeping and I'll wake up and he's just looming over me, and then he's gone in a day.
Is the dragon there?
Yeah, Rodney's around.
Right.
Yeah, anytime you're around Edwin, Rodney will like sort of like haltingly fly over, struggling against its own weight.
Oh, we need to put him on a diet.
Yeah.
It basically goes over until it realizes there's no food around you, and then it'll flutter off to someone else.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I guess we'll have. Like I don't know what they're gonna do for 2 weeks in Fort Yazid, but like what are we gonna have Giorgio do? He's not gonna just sit here and do nothing.
I mean, there's soldiers here, which means gambling, and also
Drugs.
Booze.
who knows what Giorgio's plans are.
That's my point.
A desert like this, they have all kinds of fun stuff.
I mean, so what? Everybody wants to go to the Whispering Temple, then, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's right there.
Yeah,
Look where the X-wing is.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
Exactly,
Right
it's just
there.
Yeah, we just have to find it in the mountains. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of
and-
what the rest of our ensemble. What the heck?
It's a sarlacc.
Ah!
I was trying to find another point of interest for the.
I thought that was the exhaust port.
That's no moon.
Since you are where you are, I will point out Ithas's point of interest as well.
in the middle of the desert.
Do we know about this yet?
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
up to
think he's
Ithas.
told me one. But that's Raxa, correct?
The
That's
Devil's
Raxa,
Throne.
correct?
No, Raxa is much more north than that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, my only thing is I don't know what the NPCs are gonna do. Like, are we just gonna say that they stay in
Get them
Fort
to
Yazid
work.
and do whatever?
Unless they want to go with us.
Send one ship with them up to Rhemodina.
That's true.
They were going to go there anyway. And then have Giorgio waiting for us.
It's not a bad idea.
So we don't want to go because it's going to be stupid hot, but we're willing to send.
Well, that's what Mancinos is saying, so sure.
Yeah, Machinos is a
The
jerk, but yeah.
so the hired crew of the other ship won't go in the desert in the summer unless they get a significant hazard
yeah,
pay.
exactly. So,
Well,
They'll do it,
that's
but
why
want
we're
money.
going. The other ship can just
You can unhire the
foot
other ship too, and the rest of the Odin's fighters can basically camp here.
yeah, I guess we'll do that then.
Okay.
We'll say thanks to the second ship.
Mhm.
Because it's going to
Well,
be
they
so
can-
long, and because it takes us so little to go from like Fort Yazid down to like Foxrun or whatever, I'll have Giorgio just to keep him out of trouble if possible. Just run some small trades here and there.
Oh, I see. So basically sail between the two.
In a sense, yeah. Like
Yeah.
stopping off at Addersfield and Foxrun and coming back type thing. Because I mean, it'll take him 8 days to get there and 8 days to get back. By that point, we should be back.
Okay. Let me take a note on that.
Yeah, he can do one trip
Yeah, and then
back
I'll
and forth.
have my
Yep.
my initial crew, the named crew, of the Odin's Eye people, stay with him for not only quote unquote protection, but also to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid or horrible.
All right.
What are the odds, though, really?
I can trust Carver, in my mind.
So has Giorgio stayed sober this whole time, or appears to be sober?
He appears to be sober, yeah. Did you want to attempt to keep an eye on that?
Yeah, I'm also curious to know if that would have changed his personality at all. Like, because I know he's still trying to figure out who he was. I'm
Mhm.
curious to know if we see any personality change with him being sober.
No
Sure.
beer and no
Um,
drugs makes Giorgio something something.
Give me both a perception check and an insight check.
And perception.
So you have not seen him drink at all. Anytime the crew is sort of relaxing and sharing an ale and things like that, Giorgio's somewhere else boiling some river water, so it's safe to drink. Or asking Ithis for some of that fancy conjured water.
Good for him.
But yeah, I think as the days go on, he is becoming increasingly more prone to taking out his frustrations on his crew members.
Oh no.
And, there may have been the occasional joke about mutiny or something like that. But
From
they're just
Georgia?
happy that Giorgio's not the captain at the moment.
I would like to give him. Is there any, because I'm thinking he needs a hobby. So if I give him like a dagger and some of like wood, he can start doing like a wood carving.
Yep.
It seems like he needs something to do.
Sure.
Whittling.
Whittling, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to give him a dagger and some wood and go. It sounds like you need a hobby now that you lost.
Are there
drinking."
rails on the ship? Well, he can just round them all out.
Well, we start practicing on something small. It's like, why don't you start carving something? Put your frustrations into a project.
Build the ship.
What are you trying to say, Rosie?
That you're a very talented man, and I feel like you could be putting yourself to good use instead of
Yelling at those whiny loser crew?
I'm not saying they don't deserve it.
Bunch of
And
whiny
you need
losers.
to keep them motivated, but
Mhm.
when you do have some downtime, it's good to have something to do.
Stupid wiener crew.
That stupid wiener crew, yes. But here you can make
You heard me.
whittle little people to throw over the board for fun.
That sounds cathartic.
It is very.
I could
think
whittle a little gangplank.
You could.
Thanks, Rosie.
You're welcome.
He immediately starts hacking into a piece of wood.
Whatever vents his frustration, he cannot have my girlfriend.
Girlfriend's made
Speaking
wood.
of, what's she going to be doing?
Well, you know what I mean? He has his frustrations. Cannot touch my girlfriend. Get it?
Oh, got it.
Yeah, Machinos. You too.
I get my own time. It's all fine.
Leader. Stupid waiter crew. But yeah. Yeah, so there. At least now he has something to do instead of just shouting and being.
Yeah, now he's just shouting at the facsimile of his crew.
I'm sure the crew appreciates that. Something else.
Little wooden Edgar, you suck.
Stupid little mini wiener crew.
All right, perfect. Giorgio's at least got an outlet now.
Yeah, there we go. That's so they won't hopefully kill him.
Priya will actually be making money basically while she's here. I mean, she's a bard and this is a garrison, so there's no shortage of opportunity to put on shows and things like that.
Put on shows.
Yeah, so
And that happened.
Yep.
You're welcome. I could have done worse things there, but I
Also
didn't.
true. Also true.
Putting it out there.
The other question is, if you're heading on to the Whispering Temple, are you going to outfit this ship for desert sailing?
How long does that take?
It takes about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
Wait.
it
it
Sounds
wasn't.
about right.
Weren't Giorgio and them going to travel down the river? So
Oh, right.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, fair.
So I guess.
I mean, you
if-
can also do that when you get back.
Well, didn't we have our? Did we determine if we brought our horses stuff?
Yeah, they're
yeah,
here.
we did.
So we just go by horseback.
I mean, it'll be quicker by ship, but
Yeah, but if we're unhiring the one ship, and then the other ship's doing runs, we don't have a ship.
I mean, did we tell? Is Edwin coming with us to Rhemodina or just Fort Yazid?
No, he's going all the way to Rhemodina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, he's not I don't care if he comes with us or not, so he's not really my problem.
just wants his wife back.
He has his wife back. His wife is fine. He could have went to his wife, but he's a criminal.
He's
so,
wanted.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
smooth criminal.
I mean, I guess
Yeah, and
that's
actually,
his wife,
Minchinos would know that he's going to Rhemodina for contractual reasons actually, at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily by choice.
Which I did not share.
That
Okay.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he would have been asking a lot of questions about the Emerald Syndicate and this
Yep.
and that, and you can tell him that that's sort of where they're based.
Yeah. Because I definitely don't want more Emerald Syndicate talk around the group right now.
But yeah, so it takes 2 weeks to do the convert the ship.
Yeah, basically puts like big runners underneath it so that it can go from terrain to terrain.
Okay. We can forego the whole trade montage and just have him outfit the ship. Giorgio can hopefully not kill himself for 2 weeks. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So the plan is then to get the name pending fitted and rigged for desert sailing.
Yeah.
And you guys are going by horseback to the Whispering Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the rest of the crew are basically going to camp here and wait for your return.
I'm equipping my horseshoes to digits.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay.
Good old digits.
Who? Oh no, that's good. All right, perfect. So we will pick up in the next session on the way to the Whispering Temple.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks everybody. Thanks
you.
Liam. Once again.
Mm-hmm.
We will return Friday. Yay!
That was fun.
It was, yeah.
Indeed.
Rosie got a girlfriend.
Rosie's got
Rosie got a girlfriend. Rosie got a girlfriend, and she knows making plans. Snoop doo 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 doo.
Must learn scrying.
He's just sitting there, just drilling a hole in the wall. Like,
No.
Just very small disintegrates.
Anyways, thanks everybody for watching and coming to hang out with us. We will see you sometime soon. Have a good night.
thanks,
night.
guys.
Night.